Hey there, it's new ukulele day for me. Actually, it was last night, and I just bought this. It's a Martin S1. It's basically Martin's entry-level solid mahogany ukulele, and it was a used ukulele local that was for sale at a really decent price. Still not cheap, and if you're interested in the S1, there's plenty of reviews elsewhere for it. But just really quickly, a couple things that I like about it. Obviously, it's a Martin, and there's something special about a Martin. It's one of the oldest ukulele making companies in the world, even though they've stopped making them a couple of times. It has a couple things that my other ukuleles don't have. One of the interesting things are side dots way down south of the 12th fret at the 15th fret. Grover tuners, which I don't have a ukulele that has those, and they actually say Grover on the heads. Of course, it's Martin that I don't have. I actually don't own a completely solid mahogany uke yet. And the other thing it has is a compensated saddle, and I don't have any ukuleles that have that either. So it's none of it is cutting edge technology, but it's kind of a newer model for Martin, the return to this S1. They used to make the neck still made out of one-piece mahogany, but they used to have a dovetail that was part of that neck. Now they screw it in, and there's videos you can see on YouTube, and the only potential flaw is kind of a flaw in the wood right there, and I'm not sure if that's filled in or if that's just part of the wood grain, but it's not going to bother me. It was a good enough of a deal that I like it a lot. And again, I don't play a ton of soprano, but as I play more, I'm finding that soprano is a little bit easier to play as well. So I have a ukulele to compare that to, and Mainland Ukulele, they're a company here in the United States as well. A guy by the name of Mike who works there. He's wonderful. He's in Indiana. He donated a few ukuleles to our school program, and this is a solid mahogany Mainland ukulele, which is very similar in terms of this. Now, if you're going to buy one of these new, they're going to be selling around $419, even though they're listed over $500 as the manufacturer suggested retail price. Street price is about $419. Used price is generally about $349 if you're interested in S1. And a Mainland uke, without calling Mike and seeing if it has any seconds, and seconds could be for a bunch of reasons. There could be a goofy finish with a stain, there could be extra glue or something on the inside like this one, but he often sells seconds that look from the exterior just about as good as the first for a reduced price, but these sell for about $199 or $200. So if you're going to buy a Martin, you're going to pay twice as much as a Mainland. So one of the things I thought might be fun to do is to compare them a little bit in terms of playing and tone and features. But just for the record, I bought this yesterday with Aquila, just normal Nile gut strings on it, super Nile gut strings. And I'm a Martin string guy. Generally, I just like how they feel. I like how they play, I like how they sound. That's really subjective. There's nothing scientific about that. I just like fluorocarbon strings and playing with them. This one has, very much like the super Nile gut, they're kids' ukulele strings that are colored that kind of do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to compare them with sustain. So I'm just going to play a C chord and let them ring. Here's the Martin. And comparatively, here is the Mainland. And right off the bat, to me, the Mainland, it sounds good, don't get me wrong. And again, maybe fluorocarbon strings that would make it sound very different. That's the one part of this test that isn't really fair to the Mainland. And I'm not comparing it, because again, the question you might have to ask is, what do you get twice the uke for twice the money with a Mainland? And the answer is probably not. But anyway, so it doesn't ring quite as long with these strings. It kind of muddles it on the instrument. So I would like to try this with fluorocarbons, but I leave the colored strings on because kids use it. Some appearance things. The Mainland has a rope binding. I'm not sure if all Mainlands do, but a lot of them do. Rope binding around the sound hole, which is actually binding. It's not just a sticker. And binding around the headstock. It's a mahogany neck with 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3. Has binding on the back. Looks like a single piece on the front and back. You've got a rosewood slotted bridge, rosewood fretboard, all pretty standard. And enclosed tuners that are Mainland's own tuners. And the fret markers here on the front are kind of cool. They're kind of metallic, which is kind of a neat look. So that's that. Now let's play a song or two. Again, with a nod to Barry Maz at gotukulele.com. I was pressing the string too hard, making it out of tune. And again, this isn't the ukulele's fault. Again, and I'm not actually even blaming the strings. It's just different strings had different features. And if this were my personal instrument, I'd put on the Martin 600s, inexpensive fluorocarbon, just about available everywhere. So how about this one? Bit of that, or I just tuned it and it's acting a little bit out of tune, but that's okay. Again, and then as for the Martin, so overall, what I would say is the Martin does seem to have more sustain. Their build is a little bit different on the inside. You know, they have that kerfing that's notched, whereas the Mainland is solid kerfing. Thickness of the wood, maybe the Martin's a little thinner. And the other thing, people talk about this and you think they're a little crazy, but the Martin Mahogany has a smell that's very similar to like a cigar box. And when you play it and you hold it, there's just this smell, and people call it the Martin smell, and I'm not sure if it's how they treat the wood or whatever, but it's a legitimate thing. Now, I'm not sure how old this instrument is. It's not a centennial. It's a used ukulele that's somewhere between 2010 and 2016 likely. I don't know when it was bought. I've got an email into Martin asking if they know from the serial number when it was built, just because I'd like to know. And this is a Mainland from I think it says 2013 in it. That Mainland Mike was so kind to donate to our program. So again, if you're looking for a solid wood mahogany and you don't have a whole lot of money to spend and you're looking for a soprano or any other size generally, check out Mainland. It's an incredible deal for a solid wood instrument that will continue to open up. And of course, if you're interested in Martin, the easiest and cheapest way to get into it without going into a willow ukulele or a laminate ukulele is the S1, and I'm pretty happy with that purchase. So that's the S1, that is the Mainland Soprano. Oh, and then again, the difference in the back with the tuners and everything else. So hey, thanks for watching the video. I'll have other ones with ukuleles and other things in the future. So thanks much.